This person has shown you who they were to everybody else. You just thought you was different.
If you see somebody kill a bug outside, don't trust that person.
When somebody brings something to you, even if it's their job, you say thank you. Just because they're in service doesn't mean that they're your servant. I'm always thinking I'm special just because mom and dad told us we were special. I be trusting in the good in people when I should just trust in the real. However, I had an interesting conversation with somebody. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics of the conversation because people are tired of me telling their business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's understandable.
Yeah.
But I know I've talked about this before on my own show, but I want to get your perspective on this. Mm-hmm. Friend of mine just ended a friendship with another friend of theirs.
Okay.
And the reason is because that friend of theirs did something a little bit shady. And when my friend told me the story, I said, I don't know why you're surprised. This person has shown you who they were to everybody else. You just thought you was different. Mm-hmm. And it's a common misconception that people have when they deal with their friends, family. For me personally, women that I've dated, like they show you who they are, the way they interact with other people. That's who they are. Don't think that you're going to be treated differently. You're not special. You're going to catch it. It just may take a little while.
Like, have you ever seen the movie He's Just Not That Into You?
I think I have. Who was in that movie?
Where he talks about being the rule and not the exception. Most people are the rule. Most people are not the exception.
Yeah, but they always think that they are the exception.
They always think that they're the exception. No, you're the rule. If you can watch somebody do another person dirty, know that you could be next. It's like, don't think just like, dang, they did that person dirty. Oh, well, no. Remember that. Don't forget it. And remember that when you start letting information out, remember that this person, somebody said this once, and it's true. If you see somebody kill a bug outside, don't trust that person.
Wait a minute. What?
No, because a bug just outside in the world in its habitat.
Okay. Did the bug fly in your face and you swatted it away?
No, you walking down the sidewalk, you see a bug and you step on it. Yeah, I don't trust a person like that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That bug was just literally living its life in its habitat, and you came and stepped on it. No, I don't trust. People will show you who they are. Like, watch them. Watch how they are with their friends. Watch how they are with their coworkers. Watch how they treat people in the service industry.
That's
watch
a big
how they
one for
treat
me.
Their family. Like, just watch, and you'll see a good indicator. I think it's always a good idea for one of your first dates to be going out to dinner, because you got to see how that other person treats people in the service industry.
Well, you ain't got to look. As a male, I say you ain't got to go out to dinner because it's coming out of our pockets. I say you can go to a drink. You go to a restaurant, have a drink.
But my point is, like, you want to see how they interact with people in the service industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I went out on a date probably about a month ago or something like that. And I picked up on the fact I'm very keenly aware, because I'm always like, thank you so much.
Yes.
May I?
Yes.
Thank you. Please. That's who I am.
General common courtesy.
That's who I am. And this person didn't get nasty or rude, but just was basically like almost didn't acknowledge them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't rude, but it wasn't up to my standard of how I think people should be treated. When somebody brings something to you, even if it's their job, you say thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You just say thank you. When they drop that plate or they drop that drink or whatever, like, oh, thank you so much. If they come and they start, clearing away dishes, thank you. Because they could have left that dish right there, crowding up everything, getting in the way. Like, just because they're in service doesn't mean you're going to get good service, okay? So when you do, acknowledge it.
Just because they're in service doesn't mean that they're your servant.
Thank you.
But back to this thing about people, showing you who they are. I had this friend in high school. People that know me and know me back then are going to know who I'm talking about, but I'm still not going to put this person's name out there like that. Well, I wouldn't put this person's name out there anyway, but whatever.
Regardless.
They had sticky fingers. What I mean by that is I couldn't go anywhere with them
Yeah.
without them pickpocketing something.
Yeah.
Walk out of the grocery store and be like, hey man, I got this stuff. I was like, you got money.
Right.
Just buy it. Why do you always need to steal?
Klepto.
Well, it was more than that. This person just wasn't a trustworthy person. And I picked up on the fact that I was like, you stealing and you don't have to steal.
Right.
It's not, I understand the allure, as Jay-Z says, of breaking the law. I get it. It is somewhat intoxicating. But like you clipping a Snickers bar from the 7-Eleven.
Like, what was the point of that?
What's the point of that? And that person, and that person kind of betrayed me later on in college and said something to a female friend of mine that I told him in confidence that I obviously didn't want her to know. And he did that to do an end around to try and get with her. And I was like, I knew you was this person this entire time. I knew who you were. I've had it with females that I dated, like certain ways that they treated their parents.
Yeah.
And I was like, how you gonna get mad at your dad because he's sick? Just because it's a holiday and you had this all planned and you was really looking forward to the holiday, your dad is sick. Yeah. Maybe instead of being upset that the holiday is ruined, you should be worried about how sick your father is.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm always thinking I'm special just because mom and dad told us we were special. I think I'm the exception to the rule, and I ain't never been the exception to the rule.
Well, and also you got to ask yourself, do you want to be?
Sometimes. Why not?
No, because I mean, this person is not trustworthy. Do you really want to be the exception to the rule of a person that is not trustworthy?
Well, hold on. Not trustworthy or not nice. There's two different things.
No, I'm talking working off your scenario.
Well, which one? Because I gave you two of them.
The person with the sticky fingers. Like,
yes, that's like,
do you want to be the exception to a person like that? I'm gonna tell you, I actually, it was a long time ago, but I heard a friend that I considered a friend at the time talking crazy to her mother, and I was like, oh no. And I'm not friends with that person because I'm like, if you could talk crazy to your parents,
Hold on now. Did they talk crazy to the parents in front of folks, or you just heard them and it was supposed to be private?
I was standing there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you can't do that. Now, talking crazy to your parents, look, I'm tired of raising my parents. Okay.
They hard-headed.
They're hard-headed. They hard-headed as hell. And every now and then you got to check up. You got to be like, look, I'm tired of raising you. Okay. You're supposed to be a grown-up. Stop being this stubborn, but I would never do it in front of somebody.
Yeah, no, this was not a situation where this person was like asserting a boundary or something like that. No, they were just talking crazy to their mother. And I was like, oh, no. Because if you could talk that crazy to your mama, what you saying about me behind my back or something like that? Or what would you say to my face? Or what would you say about me in front of other people? I was like, nah, nope. No, when people show you who they are, believe them.
I lost a friend, somebody that said they was like my big bro, because I hired them and then had to fire them.
Yeah.
And another mutual friend said, don't do that. don't hire him. And I was like, no. That's my big bro. You know how they are. I was like, nah, ain't gonna do me like that. Damn sure did me like that. And almost like jeopardized my standing in the company. Because here I am the boss. I hired you. I'm vouching for you. I'm paying you more than I'm paying anybody else because you're supposed to be my homie and I trust you. And here you go screwing me. And it was like that person had always shown me who they were.
Yeah.
Always. See, that's my problem. I be trusting in the good in people when I should just trust in the real.
No, your problem is you expect people to behave like you.
Yeah, well.
Instead of taking them as who they are. You're expecting people to treat you, treat your business, treat your things, treat your space, everything the way you would. That's what you're expecting. That's what we're all expecting. We're all expecting to be liked, loved, respected the way we would respect and like and love somebody else. And when they don't act the way we expect them to act, then it's like there's a problem. So no, yeah, you do have to meet people where they are. But if people are showing you that they're not trustworthy, they won't keep your confidence, they're not honest, things like that, believe that. Believe that for sure.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.